Hello, and welcome back to Hereby Nature. Sorry, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. I've actually been in an inpatient hospital stay, so I've missed, my opinion, like 4 videos, but really I've been gone for like 2 weeks. But yeah, let's get on to that video. So, to preface, I want to say Happy International Women's Day. Sorry for like the clickbaity thumbnail, but I did want to try something, and I don't plan on making this like a constant clickbaity thing. It's just this video so out of the blue. I don't know, for me it just made sense to kind of make a joke. To kind of explain it from my point of view and my perspective. The way that, I guess before I go into what I mentioned in the intro, with my hospital stay and all of that kind of stuff, the whole a woman's place is in the kitchen situation, that's something that, people say, whatever. But truth be told, that's where I'm able to be still and be able to listen and have the ears to hear what God really wants me to hear. Kind of this video, point in case, I was listening to and catching up on all of the sermons that I'd missed. But yeah, so the hospital stay, I still don't know 100% sure what it is. Heck, maybe even I'm in the middle of being healed of all of my mental health stuff, but that'd be cool, truthfully. The thing that sent me into the hospital, the doctors are calling a dissociative fugue state, where in the past I'd called it catatonia. So in my dissociative fugue state, like, I don't have any memory of anything that happens. Some people call parts of it like an amnesia, because I forget everything completely. There are some like moments of like picture flashes of what I feel like is happening, but they're so they're so far-fetched that I know that what my mind was like trying to protect me from the reality of what was happening. I don't know, it just wasn't really what was happening, and I know that it was like a mental thing that was happening, and I needed to anyway. There are other things that I'm going to be talking to my doctor about before I disclose anything and speak improperly of what I found, what I know. I'm trying to connect the dots. I have like I went to the doctor, the ER locally, and I got them to print out all of my medical records, because again, I don't remember a lot of this. And I'm going to be reading it and basically like doing a thesis on myself, basically. Hey, this is what I remember, this is what I don't remember, making those 2 buckets. And then this is what's noted, this is what I know of myself. Just a whole thing. Just, my memory is bad right now. I'm still getting out of it. I feel a lot better today. So I still have to do this, the descaling, for the Keurig, but the Keurig I am going to be donating, actually. I'm giving it to my current workplace, as they don't really have a functional Keurig. They have one, but it takes forever for the heating element to actually heat up, let alone work. And there's no actual, like, you can't use it. So that's where that Keurig is going. I'm donating it to where I work right now. So people can make tea, people can make coffee, people can make like a nice warm beverage. I know it's about to be summer in Texas and all that kind of thing. But still, even whenever I go in with allergies right now, just a little bit of honey, just a little bit of something, and a nice warm drink, like that'll be a good moment of rest. And I'd planned on doing an update post, and tomorrow I'm going to be posting the video that I made before all of this happened, and then Wednesday or maybe Monday, one of these days, I'm going to be posting the new home, like the landing page video for my channel. It's so silly. I was editing that the other day, I guess Thursday when I got home, and just listening to myself say like some of these things and knowing what I know that was recorded on the ER visit, like, my verbiage was very weird before it happened. The words that I was using, just in like everyday normal talk, basically. And just some of the things that I did and said just didn't, I guess looking back on it, because that video was recorded in the middle of the day, right before I went into the ER. So it's another one of those, like, I'm picking up the pieces, trying to figure out everything that's going on, all that kind of stuff. Regardless, I'm just, right now, I'm playing catch up with YouTube, figuring out how much time I have before I go into my next outpatient service. I mean, it's the weekend, so I won't know anything until maybe Monday, but theoretically, it's going to be Friday, unless if they have any cancellations, they can move me up any. Honestly, at this point, if everything works out, I'm kind of okay with taking like a proper rest. Like, I know I've been talking about rest, but like, my mind's always been going a mile a minute. And even just taking the time that I did here to like clean up my little coffee station. I know I made messes in other places. You'll see me like putting stuff off to the side and like out of frame and whatnot. Just taking a moment to do this, taking a moment to sit down and voice over and get maybe not necessarily my thoughts onto paper, but my thoughts onto here recorded, so I can kind of figure out everything that's going on. Maybe this is like my kind of therapy, like an art therapy of sorts. Honestly, it'd be kind of funny to look back on it in a couple of years and see improvements of everything. Anyway, a lot has happened in the 2 weeks that I've been gone. And I have a ton of new stories. Some I may pop in here. Well, I will, for sure. A lot of them are really crazy. A lot of them are pretty personal. A little side note, I'm not going to put it in the end because that's, for some reason, I recorded the ending outro before doing all of this. But for those of you that are still around and like listening and watching and everything, like, please pray for the safe return for my wedding ring and wedding band. In all of this, one of the hospitals lost it. My husband didn't transport me from the ER to the inpatient, so while I was in their care, somebody somewhere along the way misplaced it. And they both claim, both of them were saying, oh, we don't have it, we checked our safe. So please, I know I don't normally ask for help, and that in itself is something that I struggle with, but please, I guess at this point I'm calling out to the void. No, it's not really the void. I have 9 subscribers right now. But please, I just want my wedding rings back. But that's not the point of this video. It's a life update, and technically that is part of my life right now. Is I'm stressed out by trying to figure out what happened with that. And I'm trying to give myself time to work through my emotions. Because my emotions are valid. I'm very upset that somebody lost them. And they won't return them. And hopefully nobody sold them. So I'll leave it at this. Please again, pray for my ring's safe return. To me. To me, preferably. But enough crying. Sorry about that. So, to kind of backtrack a little bit, one thing that I had written down as like a pseudo script for this is, in the past, my recent past, at my last job, I had a customer that called me slow. And maybe I'll subject this section like big emotions because it was rough. But I had a customer who called me slow. And at the time, I took great offense to it. Like, they were basically calling me greatly mentally handicapped. And this was through text chat, so of course, no, of course they meant slow, like you're typing and responding. Like, I get management has a job to like de-escalate big emotions and everything, but I've come to the understanding that yes, I am slow, and I need time to consider my words because words hold power. And in this day and age, like, I'm fine with working a little bit slower. I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm fine with working a little bit slower. My wish is that I work at God's speed. Like, that's something that's been written on my heart here lately, especially because it seems like He's doing everything in His power to make sure that I rest right now, so that I can figure out exactly what's happening, so that we can course correct and just all of this stuff. But you didn't come here to listen to me cry and complain. I just wanted to get that out into the ether. So yes, I'm going to be working at Godspeed, especially currently, because while I was inpatient in the hospital, it was in one of the mental behavioral clinics, and they have these like pretty uncomfortable chairs that are like heavily weighted, so they're hard to move around. But of course, people move them around anyway. And I apparently pulled something in, I don't know what muscle it is, but it's on my left side. But around my left hip, I pulled something. So I am currently, I am slow. I'm moving slower. My body aches from just my in my fugue state. I did a lot of not questionable things, but questionable things. I don't know how else to word it. I got a little bit aggressive. I didn't hurt anybody, and I didn't hurt myself because the medical professionals were there and everybody was fine and safe. But that's why they took my rings, to kind of backtrack and flip flop a little bit. They took my rings off of me because it has a stone on it. It has a diamond, and if I were to hit somebody at any point in my disassociative fugue state, that would just be bad. So that's at some point, somebody took my rings off for my safety and everybody else's. What happened after that, who took it, that I don't know. But again, enough about that. I was in the hospital for 12 days, and about a week of it, I don't remember. At one point, one of the the ER put me into a medicated coma, basically, so they could run tests on me, see if my brain was working right. My brain is working like it should be. They're just calling it a random disassociation. Anyway, I'm not here to complain about that. I've had a long way away, and I have a couple days ahead of me this entire week, basically, before I even know if I can go back to work again. My outpatient, and I've been in contact with my current job, my new job, technically. I got it last month before all of this happened. My new job, I went the day after I had gotten out and talked and explained everything and said, hey, this is what happened. This is why I've been gone. They got with they got with HR, and they told me that I can't go back to work until I get a doctor's note releasing me because I'm still technically in outpatient care. I don't know how to describe that for those that haven't done outpatient stuff. Maybe it's like a physical therapy, but for your brain? I don't know. I've never done physical therapy. But like I go out to their services, so like their equivalent of a hospital, like their therapy rooms, and talk to them, explain to them what's going on, and well, it's a process. It's given me time at home to do everything that needs to be done, to take that time in the kitchen, to make sure that everything is a-okay, make sure that the house is in functional working order again. And just, I don't know. As silly as it is, it's nice to take this time for, I say for myself, and it's for myself, so that we can figure out what causes this to happen with me. Because it happens every year, every couple of years. I'm fine whenever I quote unquote snap out of it. Like, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, I'm not fine for like 2 to 4 weeks. And then I'm fine again. So, they're changing my diagnosis. I'm on different medicine now. They're still calling it depression, but currently they're calling it bipolar depression instead of major depressive disorder. So I'm no longer on an SSRI and I'm on different medicine. I still want to keep an open dialogue around mental health because I feel like that's healthy for myself and honestly everybody. Welcome back. So it's me being silly. And yeah, this is what everything is culminated into. Honestly, the fact that Ash let me pick him up here is super awesome. Normally, he gets really skittish, like he does here in a second. Very, very sweet Puggle. Bestest boy. But reminder, this is what we were working with initially, and this is what it looks like now. So, major improvement, and I'm going to let you guys take a closer look at what I did. So, here's Ember walking around, doing her thing, being a good old little girl. There's Ash, being Ash. The bestest boy. And apologies, I have to do a voiceover for all of it, but of course so you don't get to hear the little puppy scampering or anything like that. My mics didn't pick up the way they needed to. Regardless, this is what we're working with. This is my husband's cup that I got him on our honeymoon out in Austin. Really rad place. If you guys are in the area, highly recommend you check it out. But still have a lot of stuff, a lot of work to do underneath with the pots and pans and whatnot. I did sweep up a little bit, just being there. Now, long term, I do want to work on these shelves up top here. I want to add a little bit more space. I had something else before we moved out and back in, but I like to collect mugs, if you couldn't tell. Now, this little guy, the gray container, that I use for compost, just for like collecting all of the coffee grounds. And here I'm showing you the decaf that I use. It lets me think that I'm still drinking coffee, and I kind of am, even though I'm not, since I'm not allowed to drink high caffeine because of my medical stuff. But yeah, massive improvement, lots more space. Ideally, it'll stay clean, but I'm not completely sure on that. Ash was attacking the door here, so I'm letting him back in. Bestest boy. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I know, again, not gardening, but I wanted to give a little bit of a life update. If you want to join me for Christian gardening, feel free to subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys thought about the format of this video, as it can shape what the channel looks like there in the future. Until next week, friends, I'll see you then. Have a blessed one. And here's the blooper reel. Station. But I'm not recording. I'm recording as a test. Agree. Bubba. This dog, man.